I want to first of all appreciate the MD Joe Brooks, in person of Mr. Batunde Sonia and his wife, for putting this together. You are doing well. You've done well. I believe that the result of this will be enormous. I also want to recognize the eminent personality at the high table, and I want to recognize all the important personality because we are all important in the house. My name is Arc.Bldr Akinola Akintayo Amos. I'm an architect, I'm a builder, and I'm the MD of Oduak Projects Limited. Okay, the topic given to me is designing for durability, the future of sustainable building. I've been able to, I think I have 15 minutes to do this. Okay. All right, so I'll be stopping like around 5 minutes to 11 or 11 maximum. Okay. Designing for durability. I believe at the end of this talk, we'll be able to ask ourselves that is our building durable or not? For those that are in the house presently, that you've one or in one way or the other built before, ask yourself, is my building durable or not? But we'll get to know. So my first slide, okay, designing for durability. I've been able to group this thing into two. I will talk about designing for durability, then I will also talk about the future of sustainable building. Designing for durability. Designing for durability is a crucial aspect of sustainable building by creating structure that can meet the present without compromising the future. We can reduce waste, conserve resources, minimize environmental impacts, and generate renewable energy. All this depend on people's understanding and people's attitude and understanding of the proper use of building material for all components of the building. So what am I trying to say in this is that, you see, when we are talking about durability, it's just basically building rights. Building rights. And majorly, building, the last span of building is not 10 years, it's not 5 years, it's not 30 years. We have buildings that have lived for about 100 years. So if your building is failing within 5 years, you should ask yourself, you should know that your building is not durable. Then also, what I mean by, I want us to underline the people's attitude and understanding of proper use of building element, proper use of building material. You see, in Nigeria, we have a particular problem that it is, that is supposed to be of concern to everybody. How come in our market that we have different quality of building material for the same purpose? Different quality, we can have different type, but having different quality for the same purpose is not supposed to be, and it is dangerous. And what we're trying to say in essence is that we are actually better you can choose whatever you want to choose. And choosing the lower quality in most time might not be the best idea for every one of us. But let's just move on. So majorly, like I said, building durability is just basically building rights. That's then slide 2. I want to talk about some key strategy for designing durable building. And the key includes design for a purpose. In building, especially in our field, we have different ideas. Let me put it this way. I deal with different clients. It is possible for a friend to determine to build three-bedroom bungalow, 5-bedroom duplex, but the feature they need in it, they want in it is quite different. So if before you start whatever your construction or anything called building, you need to have a purpose. your building, your idea must targeted on a purpose, so that it will not be that you are just building that will not be functional. So, and the key player in this are, number one, the property owner, the developers, anybody that wants to build. Number two are the professionals. Number three, the government. They play, all these key players, they play a huge role in development of our environment. Number one, the building owner. You see, as a building owner, fine, you are you conceive an idea and you give it to a professional to bring your idea to reality. But most of the time, please allow the professional to do the justice to whatever idea you have. It is not always like, okay, I traveled and what I saw there, I want this thing to be exactly the way I saw in that place. Because what works there might not work here. Then also, the professional, we should not box ourselves to one corner. Allow the professional to allow the flexibility. When the professional is giving you whatever idea, don't be rigid. The professional should not be rigid. You should be able to play around whatever the client wants, whatever the developer wants, whatever the property owner wants. And the fact that, as a professional, I don't know, maybe you have the professional in the house, the fact that you are being engaged on that project, it becomes a huge responsibility for you to see to the success of that project. I want to be practical as much as possible. I'm always on the field. And one of the things that I've been seeing, even from the professional, is that I told them, that's what he said. He said he wanted that way, and that's why I do it. That's why I can't do much. I always tell them, this is not right. This is not right. There's no way your clients, the government or whatever will tell you that do this and it's strong and you're doing it. Take, for example, if we should also ask ourselves, in that idea we are conceiving, please, are we developing our environments or we are creating slum? If they tell you that your setback of a particular area is this so, why do you want to say, okay, I will not comply? Imagine in a huge, big estate in Ibadan. While this, for example, I'm not referring to any estates now. They said your setback to your fence by your side is 3 meters. Then the other one, your neighbor too should have 3 meters. That means at the end of the day, you have about 6 meters span for air to flow. And when you are bringing up your thing, you are telling your professional that, can't we have 1 meter because I want to have 3 tenants in this place? And at the end of the day, as a professional, I used to say, that's the way you want it. Number one, you contravene the law. Number two, the government might not even allow you to build. And at the end of the day, let's say you have your way and you do it. And you now discover that your next neighbor too, you are maintaining 1 meter, your next neighbor will maintain nothing. And at the end of the day, you have issues. It will be very difficult for you to enjoy quality here. Number two is that with no privacy. You might be talking in your room and be seeing another person sleeping on his bed. So that's why I said the professional have a huge role to play. Also, the government. I don't know if there's any government representative in the house, but it's high time we wake up. Let me just pick one of the building elements, reinforcement bars. If you go to market as of today, you want to buy, for example, 16 mm iron rod. You will see, they will tell you this is 16 mm local, this is 16 mm semi-local, this is 16 mm foreign. And there's nothing like foreign. They make everything in Nigeria. But what they're saying in essence is that this is the 16 mm that will pass test. That if you do integrity test, if you take it to whatever, the size is 16 mm, the strength is 16 mm, everything is 16 mm. But the semi-16 mm will be like, instead of 16 mm, we'll be having 14 mm. And the one local will be like around 13 mm. But when your structural engineer is designing, he is designing for that 16 mm. But by the time you go to the market and say, okay, because they sell local is very cheap, The next one is this so price, and you now go for the last, the cheapest one. In a way, there's this Yoruba adage that says, I don't know, maybe I get this right. So, it is your property. You are not affecting anybody. You are affecting yourself. So, what am I trying to say in essence is that we have SON, Standard of Organization of Nigeria. It's high time they wake up to this sickness. And one of the problems in that field is bribery. Is bribery. There was a time I had an experience that we are making blogs for a particular projects. And when they came, they said they would take all the blocks to their factory to check. And I said, okay, you can take it. Surprisingly, they got to another point, another block maker. They didn't even bother to check. And I know that the size, the quality of everything they're doing there is substandard. They just discussed among themselves and they left. So this is my experience, and I'm saying it here. So it's high time I beg them, if they're in the house today, to wake up to this reality. That's why we have building collapse all over everywhere in Nigeria. But thank God that we are not having it like that in Ibadan. And I will also cite an example, the issue between the property owner, professional, and the government. There's a project in Bodija. It's supposed to be an hotel project. And the project, the shape of the project is in U form like this. And during the design, the architect, I was not the architect on the project, and I was not a builder on the project. But when the building collapsed, we were one of the people that went there. So, where the architects designed for the swimming pool of that place, they didn't put it there. And during the project execution, they didn't bother to call the architect again. The engineer that was in the project, there was an engineer on that project, and there was a builder. So the property owner just decided that, I'm thinking that this, I said it's in U form. He now decided that he wants to have the pool at that center. And the pool is about just 6 feet, 1.8 meter to this side, 1.8 meters to the next building here. They started digging without telling anybody. And in a way, they got to the depths, the base of that foundation. They continued digging. And at the end of the day, the whole building collapsed at the middle. And the government also came there to stop them. But when they were doing that, you see, the first thing that I said, the property owner imposed his idea on whoever that was at that site. And later we got to know that the guy that was on that site was just an ND holder. So, but the government, what do we call the physical planning, they've been going there. Maybe they've seen it, or maybe they've not seen it. But what they told us was that they were not aware of it. So at the end of the day, the building of 3 floors collapsed. And it became the problem of the property owner. That's just a typical example of built rights. So let's move on. So, like I said, designed for a purpose. Then slide 3 now. Using high quality, sustainable material that can resist the degradation and damages. Okay, I mentioned earlier that why are we having different quality for the same purpose? But also, I said we can have different types of material for the same purpose. I will take tiles as an example. Using the tiles, we have Spanish tiles, Italian tiles. We have what we call Nigerian tiles. We have China tiles. Please, that name does not mean anything. Don't say, okay, because it's Nigeria, it's substandard. But let me give you a scenario. If you want to if you are building, your property is a public building. If you are using a low quality tiles, I will not mention the low quality now, but within yourself, you will know either it's Nigeria, whether it's Spanish or whatever. So, for a public building where you have about 100 people, thousands of people coming in at a time. The wear and tear will occur on that tiles. I'm just taking tiles as an example. Within 2 or 3 events, you must start seeing changes on your tiles. But if you are using the same tiles for your residential building, 5 months, 1 year, 2 years, you might not see any changes. So it should not be that when I was building my house, this is the same tiles I use. There's nothing saying you will not use this here. So because I've had this kind of experience very well, I will advise them that you can't use it. There's a big hotel in this Ibadan. They just opened not quite long. I will not mention the hotel, but it's very big and popular. If you're going to around Yagonku, there was a day I went to that hotel, and immediately the first thing I saw is that house. So from entering, I could understand the same tiles, the type of tiles they use in that place. The tiles is failing already. And that's the beauty of that place. Most especially it's being used at the entrance. Not at that entrance, because if you go to that hotel, if you are checking it, by the time you enter, within that receptionist area, and if you are going to the kitchen, restaurants, you will see it there. So I spoke to somebody that, you know that in the next 2 years, you will need to change these tiles. So I said, okay, we'll tell our manager. I said, it's okay. So, but if you are using that same type for your residential building, there's no problem. So what I'm trying to say is that it's not necessary that all the time you say, okay, the best. So different material for a particular purpose. But don't mix things up. Number one, you can use different type of material for a purpose. But you can't use different quality of material for the same purpose. I believe I'm clear now. So let's move on. So when we are talking about using high quality, also we are talking about understanding the building materials, understanding the building elements. So please, when next you are going to build, search for all of these things. Understand the adaptation to our climate change. Thank you. Let's move on. So slide 6 now. Implementing regular maintenance to extend the building lifespan. So what I'm trying to say in this lesson is that despite the fact that you've used good quality, you've done everything, at the same time, maintenance is very key. It's not that you will say, okay, I use quality paint. In the next 20 years, I will not repaint. We are deceiving ourselves. Definitely, regular cleaning, regular maintenance is very key. Using 1 or 2 things to work on in your building is not a problem. It's part of you maintaining your building. So let me stop that on the building, on the durability. Then, future of sustainable building. I will just rush up this thing. That's next slide. Okay, that's slide 8. I will just go through and I will summarize everything. Net zero energy building, renewable energy, green infrastructure, biophilic design. So I will talk about the importance of renewable energy and zero energy building. You see this thing, I will summarize everything together. Zero energy building, renewable energy, green infrastructure, and biophilic design. What we are talking about is that our structure now, there's a way that we should be able to generate energy within our building. If any structure, especially residential building, is relying solely on artificial ventilation, artificial lighting, it's not sustainable. I will give you another example. You see, we copy foreign design too much. And we have little or no knowledge about this. I will quickly give you this. Imagine you having a U-shaped room, no window. U-shape. Then the fourth part, you now have a window that looks like door. Aesthetically, if you're looking at it outside, it will look beautiful. But what I mean by window looking at door is your window runs from up to down on one side. You know, building is 4 corners. On one side, you only have that window, even if you have everything as window. The other part, block. In that place, if you're sleeping in that place, there's no way you will not rely on the AC. And these days, ACs are killing. You should be able to have a design that sleeping in your home, you feel comfortable. And I will give you a description. You see, on your survey plan, I believe for those that are built or those that want to build, on your survey plan, there's one arrow that goes up like this. We call it direction of north. That direction of north is what your designer will use to determine where they will put your room. The cool breeze will come from the southwest. Then a hot will come from northeast. So if all your building is facing northeast, you're in problem already. Another thing, for this, because of our climate and our region here, your building should be able to have cross ventilation. Cross ventilation in the sense that if air goes in from one side, comes in from one side, it should be able to go out from the other side. So don't box yourself up. So ask yourself also, is my building durable? Also, renewable energy. Now we have what we call biodigester. We've been using it in some of our structures. Biodigester is, you see your feces, your kitchen waste, your urine, and all of that will just channel into the soakaway. Now, we have a soakaway that will produce those things to gas, and you'll be able to use it in your kitchen. There's one we did. When we started, we needed to go to Akinyele to go and buy feces, cow feces, so that we'll put it there. And whenever they are not around, it's either we ask the neighbor that if you want to evacuate, we will need this there. Or they go there to get the feces from the... So what I'm trying to say is that we should stop wasting these resources. Your urine, your kitchen waste, your feces, they're important to you. Your next building, don't do regular soakaway. Do biodigester. It will reduce the cost of whatever you are using in your kitchen. You can use it for cooking. You can use it for lighting, depending on the power. It's not that you have a small biodigester and you say you want to power the whole house. Then, our solar panel is also important. It's another means of generating. And for those that have been using it, you will discover that it will reduce your cost on the grid. So, and also, like I said, designing biophilic design, that's integrating nature into the building. Please, let's stop building and concreting everywhere. Plant grass, greens, trees. It will help you. It will help you filter your environment. So if you open your window, you'll be able to enjoy the cool breeze coming from your trees, your greens, and all of that. So lastly, let me quickly, that's last slide, slide 12, the benefits of zero and renewable energy in building. It reduces energy costs, like I said. It increased energy independence, then lower environmental impacts. I believe I've said something. Thank you so much for having me.